In the bustling heart of New York City, under the luminous glow of neon signs and the ever-watchful eyes of surveillance cameras, an unusual event was about to unfold, one that would challenge the very understanding of human-alien interactions. Late one evening, as the city hummed with the ceaseless rhythm of nightlife, a mysterious object descended silently from the overcast sky. It landed with an inaudible thud in Central Park, hidden from the public by a thick veil of fog. The object was not a spacecraft as one might expect from years of science fiction conditioning, but rather a sleek, metallic capsule, seemingly more art than engineering. Inside this enigmatic vessel was Mira, a curious being from a distant galaxy whose species had mastered interstellar travel and now sought to understand the myriad forms of life populating the cosmos. Mira's appearance was humanoid, but strikingly different. Her skin shimmered with a pearlescent sheen, and her eyes, large and luminescent, reflected a mosaic of colors unseen on any human palette. Her mission was simple yet daunting: to observe human behavior discreetly, gather data, and return to her home planet. However, as with many who visit Earth with plans, Mira would soon find that reality often diverges from expectation. Upon exiting her capsule, Mira used her advanced cloaking technology to blend seamlessly into her surroundings. Her first encounter with human civilization was at a small, 24-hour convenience store just outside of Central Park. She had observed from her scans that these convenience stores were hubs of human activity at all hours, offering everything from food to what appeared to be ritualistic items like lottery tickets and magazines. As Mira perused the aisles, her attention was captured by a brightly colored red and white can. Her translation device quickly provided the information: Coca-Cola, a popular carbonated beverage. Driven by a scientist's curiosity and the universal impulse to try new things, Mira picked up the can and headed to the counter. The store clerk, a tired-looking man in his mid-40s with a disinterested gaze, barely registered her presence. Mira mimicked the actions of the customers before her, exchanging a piece of universal currency for the drink. Once outside, she found a secluded spot and eagerly sampled her purchase. The effect was instantaneous and profound. The Coke, with its fizzing sweetness and rush of caffeine, interacted with Mira's alien biochemistry in a way no one could have anticipated. A surge of euphoria swept through her, far exceeding the typical human response to caffeine. Mira found herself gripped by an intense, almost uncontrollable joy. Laughing, a sound she had learned from watching human videos, Mira spun around, her cloak flickering from the sudden movement. She couldn't contain her exhilaration, her laughter echoing through the empty park, attracting the attention of a nearby late-night jogger. "Hey, are you okay?" the jogger called out, a young woman with a concerned expression. Yes, this is wonderful," Mira replied, her voice musical and strange, her accent unplaceable. The jogger approached, her curiosity piqued by Mira's odd behavior and exotic appearance, now partially visible as her cloaking device struggled to cope with her animated movements. "What's got you so happy?" the jogger asked, eyeing the Coke can in Mira's hand. "This," Mira exclaimed, offering the can. "It's incredible!" Deciding to seize the moment, Mira chose to interact more directly. She deactivated her cloaking device, revealing her true form. The jogger gasped, taking a step back, her eyes wide with wonder and a hint of fear. "You're not from around here, are you?" she stammered. "No, I am not," Mira responded, her voice gentle, trying to reassure the human. "I am from far away. I came to learn, to see, to understand. And I found this Coke. It's amazing." The jogger, overcoming her initial shock, laughed, a sound of genuine amusement and marvel. "Well, you picked a good one to try, but be careful. It's quite addictive." As they talked, Mira learned the jogger's name was Sarah, a student of anthropology at a nearby university. Inspired by Mira's enthusiasm and innocent perspective, Sarah decided to take Mira under her wing for the night, guiding her through more human experiences, but with a bit more caution. Together they ventured deeper into the night, the city lights blurring into streams of color as they moved. Little did they know their unusual friendship would soon lead to events that neither the humans nor Mira's people could have foreseen. Thus began Mira's unexpected journey on Earth, fueled by a can of Coke and a burgeoning friendship with a human who dared to embrace the unknown. As Mira and Sarah walked through the neon-lit streets of the city, the energy of Earth's nightlife seemed to pulse through Mira's veins with every step. Sarah, taking on the role of guide, decided to introduce Mira to a variety of human experiences that might further test the limits of her alien physiology and cultural understanding. Their first stop was a bustling diner that glowed like a beacon against the city's shadowy backdrop. The aroma of fried foods and brewed coffee filled the air, mingling with the din of conversations and clattering dishes. Mira observed the interactions with keen interest, her eyes absorbing the scene as if she could decode the complexities of human relationships from this mosaic of mundane moments. "Try this," Sarah suggested, sliding a plate of pancakes drenched in syrup toward Mira. "It's nothing fancy, but it's a classic here." Mira tasted the syrup-laden dish, her senses assaulted by the sweetness. She grimaced slightly, unprepared for the intensity of the flavor, but the sensation was thrilling in its novelty. Each bite was a labyrinth of new textures and tastes, documenting and analyzing for her ever-expanding understanding of human culinary preferences. After their meal, they ventured into the heart of the city's entertainment district, where luminous screens advertised everything from movies to theatrical shows. Mira was drawn to the vivid images flashing across a large digital billboard advertising a new sci-fi film. The irony of watching a human rendition of interstellar adventures when she herself was an alien on an exploratory mission was not lost on her, and she shared a chuckle with Sarah at the thought. "Let's catch that movie," Mira suggested, pointing to the billboard with a shimmering finger. Sarah agreed, curious to see how Mira would react to Hollywood's depiction of alien life. Inside the theater, as the room darkened and the screen lit up, Mira was absorbed by the spectacle. The story, a dramatic tale of human explorers battling a misunderstood alien species, sparked a deep contemplation within her. She found herself empathizing with both the human and alien characters, understanding the fear and fascination on both sides. As the credits rolled, Mira was silent, her thoughts swirling with comparisons to her own mission and the potential misinterpretations between her kind and humans. Exiting the theater, the cool night air felt sharp against their skin. The city seemed quieter now, less frenetic than the hours before. As they walked, Sarah observed a subtle change in Mira. The alien's initial bursts of childlike wonder had given way to a more reflective demeanor. "You seem quiet," Sarah remarked. "Did the movie upset you?" Mira turned to her with a slight smile. "No, not upset. It made me think about fear, misunderstanding, and the bridges we must build. My people, we avoid interference, but interactions, even hidden ones, change both observer and observed. I am changed." Sarah nodded, understanding the weight of Mira's realization. "It's the same for us, I think. Every encounter shapes us, sometimes in ways we don't expect." Their conversation drifted into deeper topics: ethics of interaction, cultural exchange, and the possibilities of future encounters between their peoples. Mira listened intently, her mind alive with new ideas and questions that would inevitably enrich her reports back home. As dawn approached, painting the sky in hues of orange and blue, Sarah and Mira found themselves by the river, watching the early morning light dance on the water. The city behind them was waking up, and soon the magic of the night would be just a memory. But for Mira, each memory was a precious data point, a lesson in humanity, and as the sun rose, she felt a profound connection to this bustling planet and its curious inhabitants. The night had been a revelation, a series of moments that would define the next steps of her mission, though neither she nor Sarah could predict exactly what those steps would entail. The city, with all its chaotic beauty, had left its mark on her, and she was eager to explore more, to understand more. And as the new day began, they returned to the park where Mira's journey on Earth had first taken its unexpected turn, ready to face whatever challenges and wonders awaited. The early morning light revealed the park in a state of tranquil activity. Joggers paced themselves on winding paths, Dog walkers mingled by the fountain, and the first rays of sunlight filtered through the leaves, casting dappled shadows on the ground. Mira and Sarah, energized by the unfolding day, decided to explore further, weaving through the park's natural landscape. As they strolled, Mira's sharp eyes noticed a group gathered around a remote-controlled robot, its design sleek and evidently quite advanced. Curious, she steered Sarah toward the assembly. The robot, controlled by a young man with a keen interest in technology, maneuvered through a series of obstacles with surprising agility. "Would you like to try?" the young man offered, noticing Mira's interest. Mira nodded enthusiastically, taking the control device with a careful touch. She deftly navigated the robot, her alien finesse showing in her handling of the intricate controls, drawing impressed murmurs from the onlookers. "That's some skill you've got there," the young man exclaimed. "Are you a roboticist?" Mira, realizing the need for discretion, smiled and replied, "I have some experience with technology." Sarah chuckled, stepping in to add, "She's always been good with gadgets and stuff." Their interaction with the robot and its controller sparked an idea in Mira. The technology on Earth, while not as advanced as her own, possessed unique characteristics that were both innovative and instructive. Each device and invention she encountered provided insights into human creativity and engineering, valuable information for her reports back home. Continuing their exploration, Mira and Sarah arrived at a nearby cafe known for its eclectic clientele and vibrant atmosphere. As they sipped on coffee, Mira's attention was caught by a group of students engaged in a heated debate about artificial intelligence and its implications for future societies. Listening intently, Mira was fascinated by the ethical dilemmas humans faced with their own creations. It mirrored the concerns her people had about interacting with other civilizations. The discussion gave her a deeper understanding of human values, individuality, liberty, and the fear of the unknown. The cafe's walls were adorned with artwork depicting various sci-fi themes, distant galaxies, futuristic cities, and mythical creatures. Mira appreciated the artistry, seeing in these expressions a shared longing for exploration and understanding, traits that resonated with her own culture's pursuits. Feeling inspired, Mira shared with Sarah her observations on the similarities between their species, especially their mutual drive to explore and understand the universe. Sarah listened, intrigued by the perspective of an actual alien living among them. It made her view her own world through a fresh lens, seeing the mundane as something new and wondrous. As the day progressed, they made their way to a technology museum where exhibitions on space exploration, quantum computing, and virtual reality awaited. Mira was particularly drawn to a display about the Voyager spacecrafts, the golden records they carried, and the messages of peace and greetings they contained. "It's like a message in a bottle thrown into the cosmic ocean," Mira remarked, her tone reflective. "You send out a call, not knowing who might answer or if they will understand." Sarah nodded. "It's our way of reaching out, of trying to connect with whoever might be out there, just like you are here, trying to understand us." Mira agreed, her thoughts aligning with the sentiment. The museum visit reinforced her belief that despite the vast differences in their technology and experience, the fundamental desire to connect and communicate transcended planetary boundaries. By the time they exited the museum, the city was dipping into the golden hues of the afternoon. The day had been full of learning and exchange, and as they walked back through the bustling streets, both Mira and Sarah felt a profound sense of connection, not just to each other, but to the larger tapestry of life and consciousness shared across the stars. As the sun began its descent, casting long shadows over the city, Mira and Sarah found themselves at a local university where a lecture on astrobiology was scheduled. The topic was irresistibly relevant to Mira: life among the stars, possibilities, and probabilities. The lecturer, a renowned astrobiologist, discussed the potential forms life might take in different environments, from the icy moons of Jupiter to the exoplanets orbiting distant stars. Mira, blending in with the crowd of students and academics, absorbed every word, comparing the hypotheses presented with the realities she knew from her own galaxy. The discussion delved into the chemistry of life, the role of water as a life-sustaining molecule, and the various ways life might adapt to extreme conditions. After the lecture, a question-and-answer session ensued. Mira, feeling a surge of boldness, raised her hand. Her question was technical, probing the assumptions about silicon-based life forms. The lecturer responded with enthusiasm, clearly appreciating the depth of the question. "That is an excellent point," he said, adjusting his glasses. "Theoretically, it's possible, though we base most of our assumptions on carbon because it's what we know. But the universe has a way of surprising us, doesn't it?" Mira nodded, her thoughts racing. The public exploration of such topics thrilled her. It was a stark contrast to her own world where information was more controlled, the discussions more guarded. Leaving the lecture hall, Mira and Sarah walked through the university campus, surrounded by groups of students immersed in their own lively discussions. The energy was infectious, and Mira found herself more drawn than ever to the open, sometimes chaotic nature of human learning and debate. Their next destination was a small but well-loved observatory tucked away on the edge of the campus. It was public night, and the observatory's telescope was open to anyone interested in stargazing. Mira and Sarah queued with others, chatting amiably about the stars, constellations, and the myths humans had woven around them. When it was their turn at the telescope, Mira gazed through the lens, her eyes focusing on a distant star that she knew was orbited by a planet teeming with life, one never suspected by humans. The star appeared as a mere point of light, its secrets veiled by distance and the limits of human technology. "Beautiful, isn't it?" Sarah whispered, standing beside her. "More than you know," Mira replied softly, her voice tinged with a mix of melancholy and wonder. Their night at the observatory ended with a lecture by an old astronomer who spoke of the universe as a grand, intricate clockwork, each celestial body moving in precise, predictable patterns. Yet, he concluded with a reminder that within that cosmic mechanism, there were endless mysteries waiting to be uncovered. As they left the observatory, the sky now velvet dark and studded with stars, Mira felt a profound connection to the cosmos. The night had deepened her appreciation for human curiosity and their relentless quest to understand the universe. It mirrored her own culture's dedication to exploration, yet there was a uniqueness to the human approach, messy, passionate, and unendingly hopeful. Walking back through the quiet streets, Mira felt a twinge of sadness. Her time on Earth was limited, and soon she would have to return to her own world. But this visit, these experiences had changed her in ways she was only beginning to understand. The evening air was cool and crisp, as Mira and Sarah walked through a lively street fair that had sprung up in one of the city's bustling neighborhoods. Colorful booths lined the streets, each offering a myriad of earthly delights, from handcrafted jewelry to spicy street food. The fair buzzed with a blend of music from different corners of the world, a testament to Earth's rich cultural diversity. Myra was drawn to a booth displaying intricate mechanical devices, their gears and springs exposed, creating a rhythmic harmony as they moved. The craftsman, an old man with an eye magnifier perched on his forehead, noticed Mira's fascination. "Each piece tells a story," he explained, his hands deftly assembling another device. "They're more than just metal in motion. They're about time, effort, and the beauty of small things working together." Mira related deeply to his words. On her planet, technology was often admired for its efficiency and functionality, but here, it was also celebrated for its aesthetic and narrative value. She purchased a small clockwork toy, marveling at the craftsmanship and thinking of how it symbolized her experiences on Earth, a series of intricate, interconnected moments. Next, they came across a booth filled with paintings by local artists. One particular piece caught Mira's eye, a canvas painted with a swirling galaxy, stars dotting the inky cosmos. The artist, a young woman with paint-splattered overalls, chatted with Mira about her inspiration. "I try to capture the vastness and the mystery of the universe," she said. "It's like painting dreams, boundless and full of unknowns." Mira shared her own perceptions of the stars, careful to keep her explanations within the bounds of human understanding. The conversation delved into the philosophy of space, the loneliness, and the connection it brought to all who pondered it. Mira felt a kinship with the artist, their souls both stirred by the cosmic dance of the universe. As they moved through the fair, Sarah introduced Mira to various local delicacies. Mira tried everything from tamales to falafel, her taste buds tingling with flavors she had never imagined. Each new taste was a revelation, a burst of Earth's diversity that added another layer to her understanding of the planet and its people. The fair also offered a stage for live performances, and the two made their way toward the music. A band was setting up, and soon the air was filled with the sound of electric guitars and drums. The music was loud, vibrant, and full of energy. Mira felt the vibrations through her body, the beats resonant with the pulsing of her own heart. Caught up in the moment, Mira and Sarah joined others in front of the stage, moving with the music. Mira experienced the communal joy of dance, each movement a shared expression of life and freedom. It was another form of communication, one that transcended words, and Mira felt herself becoming more in tune with the human spirit. As the night drew to a close, the fair began to wind down. Stalls closed up, lights dimmed, and the crowd thinned. Mira and Sarah, energized yet serene, found a quiet spot to sit and watch as the fairground emptied. Sitting there, Mira reflected on the day's experiences, each one a thread in the rich tapestry of her visit. The fair had been a microcosm of Earth's vibrant culture, a lively showcase of human creativity and community. Sarah, seeing Mira's contemplative state, asked, "What will you take back from all this?" Mira turned to her, a smile spreading across her face. Everything. The sights, the sounds, the tastes. But most importantly, the feelings, the passion, the creativity, the warmth. I will take back stories of a world teeming with life and the shared desire to express and connect. Together, they watched the last few people trickle out of the fairground, the echoes of music fading into the night. The city, with its endless surprises, had offered Mira a profound glimpse into the heart of humanity, one she would carry with her across the stars. As the first light of dawn tinged the horizon with pale blue, Mira and Sarah found themselves walking along the riverside, the city slowly awakening around them. The previous night's festivities had left both of them reflective and a little weary, yet deeply connected by the myriad experiences they had shared. Mira paused, looking out over the water, watching the reflection of the rising sun shimmer on the surface. The river, calm and steady, seemed to capture the essence of her time on Earth, flowing and ever-changing, filled with depth and movement. Sarah broke the silence, her voice soft but clear. "You'll be leaving soon, won't you?" Mira turned to face her, nodding slowly. "Yes, my mission here is nearly complete. I've gathered much to share with my people. Insights about humanity, your culture, and your technologies." "And what about us?" Sarah asked, a hint of sadness lacing her words. "What happens with the connections you've made here?" Mira reached out, placing a hand on Sarah's shoulder. "The connections are what will last. They are the most important data I could ever bring back. More than just observations, they are relationships that have changed me." The alien's gaze returned to the river, watching the light dance upon the water. "In many ways, I will leave a part of myself here with you, and take a part of you with me. These exchanges, these moments we've shared, they transcend the physical space between stars." Sarah smiled, a tear glistening in her eye. "I hope we made a good impression." "The best," Mira assured her. "And I hope that my people will learn from this, grow from it, and perhaps one day return, not as observers, but as friends." They continued to walk in silence for a few minutes, each lost in their own thoughts about the days that had passed and the uncertain future. As they approached a familiar part of the park near where Mira's capsule was discreetly hidden, a sense of finality began to settle in. "It's time," Mira finally said, her voice steady but filled with emotion. "I need to prepare for departure." At the edge of the park, hidden from the casual eye, stood the sleek metallic capsule that had brought Mira to Earth. It seemed almost out of place amidst the natural beauty of the park, a reminder of the vast and mysterious universe beyond. Sarah followed Mira to the capsule, watching as the alien activated the mechanism that would open the vessel. The door slid open with a soft hiss, revealing the intricate interior aglow with ambient light. "Will I ever see you again?" Sarah asked, her voice a whisper against the hum of the capsule's systems. "I hope so," Mira replied, turning to face her human friend one last time. "The universe is vast, but now it feels a little smaller." Mira stepped into the capsule, then paused, looking back at Sarah with a smile. "Keep looking at the stars, Sarah. We're out there, and we're listening." With a final nod, Mira disappeared inside the capsule, and the door closed silently behind her. The engines hummed softly, and within moments, the vessel lifted off the ground, ascending swiftly into the early morning sky until it was nothing more than a speck, indistinguishable from the stars above. Sarah watched until she could no longer see the capsule, the sunrise casting long shadows across the park. The world felt different now, larger yet more interconnected. She turned and walked back towards the city, the light of the rising sun at her back, and a new resolve in her heart to look beyond the visible, towards the infinite possibilities the universe held.